just being honored at home, I think makes a big, big difference.
It's just hard to believe you're inducted to any Hockey Hall of Fame.
On this fabulous night, I will never, ever forget.
Dedication, grit, heart, and leadership.
The importance of it is who you played with, how you helped, and the fact that we drafted memories together that'll never be forgotten.
From the first time I stepped on the ice here, I always felt a ton of support.
To be honored and to come back and to be reminded of the great good fortune you received on Long Island specifically was very memorable.
It's an honor that's being bestowed upon me because a lot of guys helped me get to this point.
For me, it just really put a real nice cap on the whole career and just recognize the fun I had, I think, being an Islander.
You just won't know how much it means to me. It means a great deal.
You don't think about being in the Hall of Fame. You don't think about having your picture or your name on the wall. But when it happens, then again, you just kind of realize that, okay, I'm not here for a short time. I'm going to be here for a long time.
And there's young Pat LaFontaine, who's got a couple of goals tonight, his first and second, in what I'm sure is going to be a long and illustrious career.
Like most of the young players that get drafted, we're kind of eager to see them at training camp. You don't want to get the wrong impression. It's up to them to paint their own picture and make their own impression. And it was wonderful. You saw this young kid who could skate like the wind. He was certainly way above our expectations as far as skill. And he was just so hungry to learn.
And I swear to God, he could take a step and he could be 10 feet over here. And with these skates, he just was able to turn so quickly, It was impressive.
LaFontaine pulls up, moves it, and victory scores!
Well, I think the comparison I could make with him and Mike Bossy is that this is a guy that wanted to score. Like, this was a big part of his game. When you're that driven to score with the skills, you're going to have success.
Sets up a screen in front, then his shot is blocked. Goes back to LaFontaine, turns, lets it go, he scores! My, oh my, oh my!
He was able to weave and bob, and then he would just dish it off. There wasn't anyone on the team that skated as well as him.
LaFontaine, that one will count. 50 for Pat LaFontaine.
Pat made himself a part of this community. He still lives here. He's a Long Islander, and that speaks volumes in itself.
Involved in community and helpful in charities and, making an impact in people's lives.
Anybody that knows him, anybody that's worked with him, all the charitable work he's done, all the giving back he's done, and continues to do. He's a Hall of Fame player on the ice and a Hall of Fame person off the ice.
Isles Nation, please welcome the Master of Ceremonies for today's Islanders Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Islanders legendary broadcaster, Jiggs McDonald.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Isles Nation. I'm honored to be back here this afternoon for a very special day in New York Islanders history as we honor another great player who wore the blue and orange by inducting him into the New York Islanders Hall of Fame, Pat LaFontaine. Now joining us for today's ceremony, please welcome to the bench behind me your 2025-26 New York Islanders. Please join us now in welcoming many of the great players who are enshrined in the Islanders Hall of Fame. First, we'd like to recognize the Islanders Hall of Fame inductees who, unfortunately, are unable to be with us today. Brent Sutter, Bob Bourne, and Denny Potvin. And we would like to remind you of those that we'll never forget, those who remain in our hearts forever. Bill Torrey, Al Arbor, Mike Bossy, and Clark Gillies. Legends who helped define this great franchise. Please join me now as we welcome to the ice members of the Islanders Hall of Fame, beginning with Ken Morrill, Ed Westfall, Bob Nystrom, John Tonelli, Kenny Johnson, Billy Smith, Patrick Flatley, Brian Trottier, and Butch Goring. Pat LaFontaine was one of the most electrifying players to wear the Islanders sweater. He was the 3rd overall pick in the 1983 NHL draft, and at just 19 years of age, represented Team USA at the 1984 Olympics in Sarajevo, where he led the team in scoring with 5 goals. The following week, he joined the Islanders, and in 8 seasons, he played 530 regular season games, recording 566 points, including 287 goals, 35 of which were game winners, and 279 assists. His postseason numbers with the Islanders are equally impressive. 36 points in 50 games, including one of the most iconic plays in Islanders and Stanley Cup playoff history. You know where I'm going. Yes, the game-winning goal in the 4th overtime of Game 7, the 1987 Patrick Division semifinals against the Washington Capitals. The goal in the game, otherwise known as the Easter Epic. Today, we celebrate Pat and permanently etch him in bronze here at UBS Arena with this plaque. Before we bring out the man of honor, please welcome members of his family. Pat's daughters, Sarah and Brianna, Pat's son, Daniel, and his wife, Natasha, along with Pat's grandchildren, Patrick and Olivia. Unfortunately, Pat's wife, Mary Beth, is unable to join us for this afternoon's ceremony. Mary Beth, we're thinking of you. And now, please welcome Islanders captain Anders Lee, who is presenting Brianna with a bouquet of flowers. Now, Islanders Nation, please welcome our 2025 Islanders Hall of Fame inductee, Pat LaFontaine. It is time now to welcome Butch Goring, who will present Patty with his Islanders Hall of Fame jacket, welcoming him into this storied brotherhood. And now we welcome Patrick Flatley and Brian Trottier to present Pat with a painted portrait from famed sports artist Tony Caparelli. It highlights many of Pat's great moments as an Islanders player. And now, it's time to hear from our inductee, our guest of honor, Pat LaFontaine.
Thank you. Thank you, Jigs. When I hear that voice, I think of Eddie Westfall, Stan Fischler, and brings me back to the 80s and 90s. Those guys are a hat trick of greatness. Thank you. My love of hockey started when I was 5 in St. Louis. We soon moved to Michigan in a lake called Williams Lake, and a rink was built about a mile from us. I played youth hockey with my brother. My dad was our coach. My sister figure skated. My parents aren't here right now, but I'm indebted to them for introducing me to this great sport and for all of their sacrifices. In 1983, I was drafted by the New York Islanders. Soon after, Flats and I joined the 84 team for that run for 5. I have to say, you never know where your life is going. We choose the game of hockey, but where we go is not our choice. I'm indebted to Mr. Bill Torrey and the scouting staff for bringing me here to Long Island. As I stand here today, I have to say, I didn't realize the impact as a 19-year-old boy, here 42 years later, what that would mean. But I can feel it today, and it means so much to me. My good friend and agent Donnie Meehan's here. He represents his Newport Sports, represents 6 players on the Islanders. And I want to thank him for all his advice, his friendship, especially during my playing days and after. And I know Newport has a special player here too named Matty Schaefer. For an 18-year-old kid to text a 60-year-old man and congratulate him, thank you, Matty. Keep it going. A heartfelt thanks to the New York Islanders organization, ownership group, Mr. Scott Melkin, Mr. John Ledecky, John Collins. I'd like to thank them. I'd like to thank the management. I have to recognize the great Lou Lamoriello. We won a World Cup in 1996 together. Want to mention Matthew Darsh, and phenomenal job. He was the one who called me to tell me I was being inducted. Kelly Cheeseman, who just came on as president in the business side. Also, Patrick Waugh, who I played against in 1982-83. To all the players, their families, the trainers, the entire staff and the organization, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for this amazing tribute to my family and myself that you bestowed upon us today. To these great Hall of Famers, I'm so honored to join you guys today. I was so lucky. I've had a chance to think about what it's meant. Flats and I, we talked about it last week. How lucky were we to learn and play with what I believe is the greatest team in all of sports from 1979 to 84. And I'll make sure we recognize those that are smiling down and that we miss dearly. Clarkey, Potsy, Hardy, Boss, Jimmy Pick, Ronnie Waskey, Murph, and of course the great architect, Mr. Bill Torrey, and the greatest coach to ever coach, Al Arbor. We've had a residence here for over 41 years. We met a lot of family, a lot of friends. The Hoeys, the O'Days, my in-laws. Thank the Sinnott family. But I have to say, all of you that are here that came or are watching on TV, my family are so grateful to all of you and all of our time here on Long Island. It's meant so much to us. Thank you. To my friends at the NHL, at NFP, UBS, and my buddies called the Low Tides, my brotherhood in beer league hockey and the Winter Club. I know they're up there somewhere. Can't thank you guys enough. You've meant so much to me. I really appreciate you. What makes this really meaningful and extra special to me today is the New York Islanders recognizing the charity Companions in Courage, which is near and dear to my heart. Our board and our fearless, courageous leader, Jimmy Johnson, our executive director, are all here tonight. And everybody who has ever supported the New York Islanders and everybody who has supported the kids in children's hospitals, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. We have now impacted or touched over 1 million kids in children's hospitals in the last 25 years. It's extra special to be here with my family, to have them here and be recognized in this moment, because this is not just individual, it's about family and your teammates. I'd like to recognize my daughters, Sarah, Brianna, Daniel, Natasha, my daughter-in-law, Patrick and Olivia, my beautiful grandkids. We're so proud of you, Mom and I love you so much. Thank you for being here. We're also here with a heavy heart. Brianna, our son-in-law, Randell McCoy, Brianna's husband, passed away Saturday. Randell was going to be here in a wheelchair. He had ALS, and he was going to have his Islander blanket, and he was all excited. He lit up every room. He had the greatest smile and just beautiful soul. We're going to miss you, Randell. We love you dearly. And ALS, the acronym isn't ALS to us, it's truly a love story. We love you, Randell. And his family's also here in the suite, thanks to Mr. John Ledecky. The last year and a half and this last week has been challenging times for the LaFontaine family. I would say two words that have epitomized what we've had to go through is courage and team. Because of some health issues, my beautiful wife, Mary Beth, could not be here today. But I'd like to dedicate, I know this is an individual and it takes a team and takes a family, but I'd like to dedicate this honor to my best friend, my life partner, my inspiration, my beautiful wife, Mary Beth. She's a Huntington girl. I met her when I was 19. And Long Island is our home. Lastly, I'd like to thank the great fans here on Long Island. I have to say, playing in front of you with these great players, teammates, the Islanders, the trainers, the organization, were some of the greatest days in my life. I'm truly, truly honored, and I thought one more thing I would love to do is say, I have a saying in life, because as we get older, score your goals when you're young, because when you get older, it's all about the assists. Assists are what matter. And I'd like to have my little grandson, Patrick, come up here for a second, because we share the same name. Ready? Okay, let's go. What do you want to say, Patrick?
Let's go Islanders.
Yeah. Thank you for making an old Islander feel at home. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for assisting on this special and cherished award. Thank you.
Patty, there's one more thing left to do today. Isles Nation, please turn your attention to section 224, where longtime season ticket members Louis Seda and his son Lou are standing by. Louis and Lou, let's see it. On behalf of Isles Nation and the entire New York Islanders organization, we thank you for your leadership and all the great moments and memories that will continue to be passed down from generation to generation. Your legacy will live forever in the Islanders Hall of Fame, and we thank you. Isles Nation, one more time for our 2025 inductee, Pat LaFontaine.